Welcome to Plan Watch Walk and day 2 of Isaac's Tea Trail. We're just about to leave Alston and we're going to be heading through to Allendale. Weather's not as kind as yesterday, it looks pretty overcast, so hopefully it'll break, but who knows. So if you haven't watched stage 1, really worth having a look at that before we look at stage 2. So before we do anything else and before we see what adventures we got ahead, let's have a look at the route on the map.
We leave Alston and head along the River South Tyne to Kirkhall Station, crossing the rail line and the river. We then head to Isle and onward to Keasley Well Row, then head through Monkwood before reaching Keenley, and our final leg along the East Allen River before reaching Allendale.
So we are starting stage 3 now of the walk, and once again we'll hand over to Roger to do a brief intro for us.
Right, well we're here in Alston, which is right at the heart of the North Pennines. Best probably known for the Pennine Way that runs through here, and the trail actually follows the Pennine Way for about 3 or 4 miles until we reach a place called Kirkhoff, and in particular the footbridge over the River South Tyne, which is a particularly attractive bridge that runs there, but is a recent replacement for one that was lost in a flood in 2018. And we're delighted that this wonderful bridge is now there and enables us to complete the trail in the way it was intended. Kirkhoff Church is certainly noteworthy. It's of Germanic origins, or the design is at any rate, and is well worth a visit. It's one of the many unique features of the trail. From the South Tyne, the route then goes up a tributary, the Ale Valley, up to a place called Clargill, where there's still coal mining going on there, which in itself is somewhat of a rarity, and then breaks out onto the moors on the border between Cumbria and Northumberland, and drops down a rough track into the valley of the Moat, and the conclusion of the section at Ninebanks.
Okay, that's great. We're going to be introduced once again when we come on to the final stage. Great overnight stay here in the Cumberland Hotel. Fully recommended if you're looking for somewhere to spend the night between your walks. We leave Alston and walk past the Cumberland on our right. Come down once again over the mid. And at some point, just up ahead, we're going to turn right. I want to turn first right after coming over the bridge. And come up to a path here. And as ever, some really good signage. And we're on the Pennine Way at this point. Slaggyford 5 1/4. And there's old Isaac. So we'll go back along the mid for a while. Let's continue along the path. We have Alston on our right, and the river at the bottom is actually not the Nid, it's the River South Tyne. You can see we've got a bit of low clouds, we've got drizzle to start off the day, but it doesn't dampen the spirits. So let's continue along the path and see what adventures we've got. I thought I'd do a quick sit rep. Only about half an hour in, and it's a bit dreek, but no cloud, but it's fine. So we've come across the fields, and it reminds me very much of Lake District walking this. We've got Harbour Lodge there, and we're going to continue up the path just to the road, and then we're going to be off over the hills again. path we come to this little gorge, quite beautiful actually, called Gildane Burn. We've got the bridge, going to drop down to past the other side, past the sheep there. And the burn continues meandering its way down the valley. Here we have Ifcombe today. So ahead of us, as it says here, is the site of the Roman fort Ifcombe, stood on the flatty grass knoll. So here's the knoll itself. If we have a look here, we can get an impression of what the fort used to look like. Anyhow, we're not going to go visit that because our path takes us across the field here. As we come down the path from the Roman fort, we've got the farm just ahead of us here on the right, and our trail takes us through this beautiful little dingly dale. As we come along, we pass over a bridge, we pass over the narrow gauge South Tyneside Railway, which rolls through the valley. Well, after passing over the railway line, we now again pass over the river South Tyne. It's heading down to the main River Tyne itself. Our path now takes us along the side of the river for a while, and we'll be passing the church just ahead of us there. Well, there's the church next to the vicarage. Very quaint, very, very picturesque. Next to a farm, and our path continues. If we head along the road, along the side of the South River Tyne, something very novel's happened. The sun has tried to come out. There we go. Just trying to come through. Still reasonably low cloud base. But, yeah, all very pleasant. We come to the end of the tar road path. Got the sign here for aisle 3/4. So we're going to be heading over the fields, and this is the start of our gentle, or maybe not so gentle, climb to our highest point. Well, we've just come into aisle and over a little bridge here, and the burn, we've got this nice little waterfall as the stream meanders on through. So apart from a couple of houses, there doesn't seem to be a great deal in aisle. We've got it's about 100 yards or so up the road here, and then we turn right. Well, as we leave the hamlet of Isle behind us, we've just come over the stile. We've still got some low-hanging cloud. So our route's pretty much straight ahead. We're going to be heading across, down the valley a bit, up the other side, and up through those trees ahead of us. So, let's see what we've got ahead. It's going well. It's wet. It's raining. But hey ho, still enjoying it. Even when the weather's wet, bleak, damp, raining, you should never forget to have a look around, because the scenery's still there. Behind us here we have our Clarkley Hall and farm. If we have a look through the driving rain, up the valley, see there's still beautiful views all around. Well, as we can see here, it says welcome to the moorland. And the picture in the middle should be what we're looking at. The problem is, that's what we're looking at, which is such a shame. We're currently at the highest point. Come down off the fells and the moors, and we're starting to see a little bit of visibility, but you can see why up on top there, why the weather was sort of pants when we're up top, which is a shame because we didn't see any of the beautiful views. But we are just passing over the river West Allen, and we're just by Ninebanks, so doing all right. About 3.5 to go. Well, there's still pants, but hey ho, that's life. So here we are for the final time, and here's handing over to Roger to give us a brief intro for the 4th and final stage.
Right, well, we're in Ninebanks for this final section, going over to Allendale. Now this is really probably one of my most favourite areas because it's essentially the heartland of where the trail, Isaac Holden, the itinerant tea seller, was born and bred, worked at the local mine before it effectively wasn't able to sustain the people that were working there, and that's why he became a tea miner. And it doesn't take much imagination to see that it's a very unchanged landscape, and many of the properties are very similar to those that go back to Victorian times or even earlier. And it's also particularly tranquil and lovely walking, with another characteristic of the trail, a great deal of variety. So we, from Ninebanks, we climb again through some attractive woodlands, monkwood, and then over to from the West Allen to the East Allen Valley, and again there's what is the oldest Methodist chapel in the world at Keenley, which is another characteristic of the area, the predominance or remains of the old chapels, that there is probably as high a concentration in this area as you'll find anywhere in the world, which went hand in glove with the way of life in that particular area. And Keenley in particular is associated with John Wesley visiting there in the late 1740s. Anyway, we drop down into this very tranquil pastoral landscape, down into the West Allen, and another riverside walk against with sections of woodland, and a short stretch takes us back to the marketplace in Allendale, back to Isaac's Well, where you've by now richly deserved the prospect of a pot of tea and a good slice of cake. Thank you.
That's great. I would just like to say thank you very much to Roger for joining us and doing those intros. It really has added something to the whole walk, so thank you very much, Roger.
Thanks, David.
A little word of warning. I'm at Fars Dryburn now, and somehow I managed to lose the path. I have no idea how, because as I've been saying all along, it's pretty well signed, but I ended up over the fells and through reed bogs and everything. Anyway, back on track now, which is good, and I can just see a post ahead of us there telling us we're back on track. So all is good. We've left the farmhouse. We've got quite a steep hill to come down, and when we come down it's all worth it, because you've got this beautiful little stream coming down here with little mini waterfalls all the way, and an unbelievably picturesque bridge. So we're over that, and then we're up the hill on the other side. Well, I thought I'd give you a bit of a set rep, bit of an update. Haven't done a huge amount of filming in the in some parts of the walk here, and it's because the viz has just been pants, to put it mildly. But we're a little bit down in the valley now, and if I have a pan round, I think you probably understand why. I'll put a map in the top corner to let you know where we are. But we have a look around. Yeah, the scenery is pretty stunning, but the cloud base must only be a couple of 100 feet. So anything above there, you're in the clouds. Shame. I've been heading through this wonderful little wooded area for a little while now, passing over streams, as you can hear. There's wildlife in the background. Oh, there you go. There's a pheasant. And it's just ever such tranquil walking. Very, very pleasant. Passing the house here, I don't know if you can see, but there is loads and loads of pheasants just strolling through the garden. And there's more up in the rockery area here. It's been 20. Oh, look. More along the path just ahead of us. I'll show a picture of the elevation. We're at 400 metres at the minute. Just picking up a road and we're going to be heading down to Keenley. But just to give you an idea of what the viz is like, that's less than 100 metres. So this is the last little high bit, and we've got about an hour and a half, an hour 40 to go. As we've come down from Keenley, we've come to the church. See some of the viz, and we're now heading on down. High Frost Hall is the sign here. As we come down, we meet the River East Allen for our final stages to get along into Allendale, and we've got a nice little bridge to head over the burn here, which is one of the feeders into the Allen itself. Haven't got far now, mile and a half maybe. When it gets to that stage in the walk where you start to have a think back and a bit of a reflect about what the walk's been like for you. The trail itself is a cracking trail. It's really, really good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Disappointing side for me is that the mist on top, because I know what the views are like from up there across the fells, and to be honest, they're pretty darn stunning. But we've been plagued with rain and pretty poor visibility down about 100 metres at times, but love the walks. The signage is fantastic, but don't get complacent about it, because it's very easy to go wrong. I got off track a wee bit this afternoon. Not sure it was a bit of mist and fog, or not too sure what it was. But anyway, got back on again, so that's okay. But overall, great walk, great trail, great 2 days of walking, and hope you enjoyed it. I hope the only disappointing thing from my side is I haven't been able to show you more of the views, but it's England. We can't have everything. It's very easy when you're late on in a walk, especially a long one. Maybe it's a bit of fatigue as well, and you're just bashing on to get to the end, and you miss a sign on a fence. And here we have Essex Trail, and it looks as if it's going to go through that wall over there. We come to the final crossing of the river before heading back into Allendale. Coming down, we're heading over to the north side of the river, and here we have the signs to guide us along the path. Continuing with our nice end of the walk along the side of the river. We've just come up the path from the river, joining the road, and it's the same road that we went down to start the walk. So we are now officially completed the loop. Just got to go over the steps over there, and we're going to get back up into what should be sunny Allendale, but rainy, drizzly and foggy Allendale. And here we are, back in Allendale Square after completing Isaac's tea trail. Fantastic.
In stage 3 and 4 we have walked 20 miles. The highest point was 1,437 feet with a total ascent of 3,031 feet. Took us around about 10.5 hours. There's a lot of pointers of interest along the way, as you can be seen just below.
I hope you enjoyed stage 2 and stage 1. If you did, it'd be fantastic if you subscribe. Thumbs up, always good. Any comments I'll get back to. As I say, there's lots of content on the channel, and also a load of equipment reviews as well. So thank you very much for watching if you got to this stage, and until the next time we meet, bye for now.